All right, so check it out. The quote. There was a quote submitted by Taji Slothauer. I hope I'm saying his name right. Taji Slothauer submitted a quote in the Morning 5 Planner. Now, what is the Morning 5 Planner? The Morning 5 Planner is this right here. It's this planner that I use every single day, no matter where I am, no matter what's going on in the world. I always start my day with 5 simple steps to an extraordinary life. And I think you should too. 5 simple steps, right? Step 1, never hit the snooze button. Check. Step 2, don't touch your phone first thing in the morning. Check. Step 3, gratitude and goals. Check. Step 4, physical activity. I will check that box as soon as this show is done. Step 5, send out an encouraging message. We're doing that here today. So we do this every single day. I do this every single day. Thousands of people all around the world do this every single day, these 5 simple steps to an extraordinary life. And at the top of each page of this planner is a quote submitted by actual members of the community. And so Taji Slothauer submitted this quote. And keep in mind, these quotes were submitted last year, right? They're published, they're printed, sent around all around the world. So the quote that he put in was, I can, I will, I must. I can, I will, I must. Now these are 3, this is really, really important because I can, I will, I must. First time I ever heard that was from a guy named Eric Thomas. And Eric Thomas, some of you may or may not know, he's known as the #1 motivational speaker in the world. And I had the opportunity to speak on stage with him back in 2018, and it completely changed my life. And at that particular event, Eric Thomas gave this very speech using these very words, I can, I will, I must.
I don't do this. I don't come to like if you notice, you go back and watch ET. You see me at a school every week. You don't see me at conferences regularly. I don't do this because I was in Australia, guys, and I realized that they're not the one guy, but there's this one guy who brought me in, not my boy Glenn Twiddle, but another guy brought me in, and we were in the back talking. He was like, E.T., I'm so glad you're here. Now here's the plan once we get these bums in the seats. I said, did he just? No, he just didn't say. He sees them as numbers. He sees them as a group of individuals, and he's got the little plan that he has, and after you finish the plan, you go to the back and you swipe your credit card. I don't care if you're in debt or not, you swipe your credit card. They give out a couple of gifts here and there. I'm like, yo, it's like sheep being led to the slaughter. They don't care. So I was like, yo, I quit, that's it. Like, I'm gonna have to find another way to make, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't make money doing conferences because you're using me because the people trust me, and now the people are coming in numbers, and now you sell it to the people. I'm like, I will never do that again. So understand who you are. You must understand that I don't do this. I don't do this. I don't come and do this. I don't need money to survive. I'll take care of the sparrow. You don't need to speak to make money. And so I'm here because I share the same values. I'm here because I share the same values. Are you hearing what I'm telling you?
Yeah.
This is a very special moment. I just declined. They were like, E, all the top speakers will be. I said, what does that have to do with me? I told you last year no. So y'all just gonna call me what, every year and try to wear me down? I told you no. Because I'm not interested in leading people. I'm not interested in taking people's last $15. I'm not interested in messing somebody's credit up for the rest of their life. I'm not interested in taking money out of a kid's mouth. Look, when I was a teenager, I could have sold dope, and I didn't. So why would I wait till I'm an adult to sell it? Come on. Why would I? It's the same concept. Why would I take money out of a mother's mouth and a child's mouth so I can wear some gym shoes and I can drive a car? So before you sit down, understand this is a special moment. This is a very special moment. And this moment is not special because I'm here. This moment is special because you're here. And you attracted me to
I hope you can understand this is a special moment. This is a special moment not because I'm here, but because you're here. I'll never forget that moment right there, the alignment of values with my guy Eric Thomas at Hustle and Grind Con. And this morning, as Taji Slothauer submitted this quote over a year ago, it just brought back everything for me full circle. Why we do what we do, why we're here, why we're together, the impact that we can make, the core values and the people that we align with. And so thank you, Taji, for reminding me of that. I needed it, and my guess is some of those that are watching the show right now needed it too. Let's go, folks.
Good morning and welcome to #Rise and Grind, the #1 morning show in the world filled with motivation, education, and inspiration. I am your host, Glenn Lundy, husband to 1, father to 8, and the founder of the 800% Club, the club designed to help you unlock your full potential. Each episode is filled with celebrity interviews, inspiring conversations, and the strategies you need to get ahead in your career and your life. So grab your pen and turn up the volume because it's time to rise and grind.
Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Dude, today is Wednesday, a.k.a. CMA Day. That's right, Carter Myers Automotive Group. We get together every Wednesday, have for years, and they're just an amazing, amazing organization. Actually, a lot of them are here with me here not with me, but they're here as well, here at VADA, which is the Virginia Automobile Dealer Association annual event. This year they've combined the Kentucky automobile dealers, the Maryland automobile dealers, and the West Virginia automobile dealers, as well as the Virginia Automobile Dealers Associations. So all four are here, and a lot of the Carter Myers Automotive Organization is here, including Liza's dad, he's just amazing. Carter Myers himself, he's just a legend. And so I've seen her dad and her mom. She's also got her son, Parker, here. And then Scott Simons is here. And Ed Nichols is here. And Sean is here. And Russell Tabone is here. And Beth Lucchese is here. And many of the names that you know from the show. They're all here. We are in White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia at the Greenbrier. And, of course, today is June 21st, 2023. And what's crazy, is that door not supposed to be open over there, Don? And what's crazy is today is the very first and the very last time it will ever be Wednesday, June 21st, 2023. So I want to make sure we make the absolute most, and I do mean the absolute most of this absolutely incredible, incredible, incredible day. Hey, do me a favor if you would. We are in a series called Stories Matter, and in this series we are talking about the importance, the power of stories, and we're also reviewing an event that I had in Lexington, Kentucky last week. So last week we had our 800% Club event with our dealers, owners and general managers of car dealerships from all over North America, including Canada. And at that event, we had 12 different speakers, including this guy, Saul Blinkoff, who was absolutely phenomenal. I'll show you some clips from his talk here in just a bit. But we had 12 speakers. We rented out a skating rink. We had a derby party. We networked. It was just really, really, really powerful and impactful. And this week here on the show, we've been kind of recapping that and sharing with you some of the takeaways, some of the strategies, so on and so forth. It's been really powerful. So if you would please, before we go into some of these clips, if you would tag some friends, those of you that are over on Facebook, if you would tag some friends, some people that could find that you feel could find value in being in a space like this, or could use being in a space like this filled with motivation, education, and inspiration. If you would tag some friends, that would be great. If you would hit the share button, that would be amazing as well. And of course, over on Clubhouse, down on the bottom left-hand corner, bottom towards the middle, if you would share this into the Clubhouse streets, I would greatly appreciate that as well. And while you're doing that, what we're going to do is we're going to do a little dancing on this show. We're going to do a little dancing on the show. And we do that because an object in motion tends to stay in motion. And an object at rest tends to stay at rest. All right. So for those of you that are out there working out right now, we're going to pick up the pace a little bit. We'll do some dancing while you're out on your run. You can do some dancing if you're at work. Maybe you're in a different time zone. You're already at work. Do some dancing there at work. If you're in bed, I need you to get out of bed. Just trust me. You'll be okay. You're like, but Glenn, I'm tired. Okay, but stay in bed tomorrow. How about that? Stay in bed tomorrow. Get out of bed today. Okay? Does that sound fair? Like, get extra rest tomorrow. Today, let's get after it. Okay? So I need you to pop up. This is also the part of the show where I want to say good morning to you, and I want you to say good morning to me. Whether you're watching live or you're watching on replay, say what's up. I'll say what's up back. All right? Fair. All right. Good morning, Kim Fair. Great to see you. Good morning, Mary Kim Farkas, Vicky Everett, Don Sankey's up here in the building. Tarika Simmons is dancing. Al Salas, let's go, buddy. It's time to get it. My guy, Al, great to see you. What's up, Bella Rigby? We've got Young Johnson in the building. Valerie Oakley, West Storm, Russell Hill, Leisha Moore. What's up, Daryl Walker? I'm so glad you're here as well. Sorry about that over there on Clubhouse. I see Dora Maria. I see Mary Lynn. I see David Hill is in the building. Miss Liza Myers Borges is up in here. Matt GPT, Angeline, what's up, TM? How you doing, Kate and Stars and Renee, the Queen from Dubai, I believe. What's up, Dr. Jeannie? We've got Jackie and Natasha and Pamsky. We've got Don Sankey and Frank is in the building. I also see Miranda, and I see Mike and Babs and Tanya. Good morning. Good morning, Yale. Good morning, Marie. Good morning, Jada. Good morning, Maureen. Good morning, Janelle Griego in the building. Valerie Oakley, good morning as well. Man, Rich Pintrick, Pastor Jeff, all the way up in here this morning. Rick Tamburino, I'm glad you're here. Jeff Baker's up in here. Hey, thank you all for joining me here in this space. I greatly appreciate it. I want to go ahead and dive right in this morning. So I'm going to cut that music and we're going to dive in. So one of our... So we're going to talk about Stories Matters. I'm going to go through a couple clips with you from the event. I think you're going to enjoy it. Let's dive in.
Tears are streaming down my face. Not a little choked up. No, crying. Grown man crying. Well, grown man, I was 21, whatever, 20. Crying. The movie's a true story about a guy who's 5 feet tall. He doesn't have an ounce of athletic ability, and he wants to play football at Notre Dame. What movie? Rudy. Yeah, this is my room. That's my room. I speak to college university students. Did you hear crickets? Rudy, what? What's that? How many people here have seen Rudy? Let me see some hands. All right. Okay, no guilt. I saw no. How many people have not seen it? 1, 2. You? There's the door. Get the hell out of here! The people that haven't seen it, have you seen the movie The Hangover? Yeah. Yeah, you've seen that movie. Yeah, you've seen that. Yeah, okay. Help me out here, people. Good. Look, the movie Rudy is a true story. He dreams of playing football at Notre Dame. If you were friends with the real Rudy Rudiger, and he told you his dream was to play football at Notre Dame, you know what you would have told him as his friend? Dude, I love you. Get a new dream. But you know what Rudy said? Yeah, well, we'll just see about that. And he tries to get into Notre Dame. And what happens? Rejected. Tries a second year, rejected. Third time, rejected. But fourth time, if you look at the movie poster for the movie Rudy, it says, when people tell you dreams don't come true, tell them about Rudy. He gets in, and tears are streaming down my face because I'm thinking one thing. If an unathletic kid like that could get into Notre Dame with an insane amount of tenacity and hard work, then what I thought was an untalented artist could get into Disney with an insane amount of tenacity and hard work. And I vowed to never give up again. I got the guy on the phone from Disney. I called him back the next day. He goes, Saul, I already told you. I'm like, yeah, let me ask you a question though. How close was I? He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, how many people did you pick and how many portfolios did you get? He said, well, we picked 17 from over 3,000 portfolios from around the world, and you made it to number 20. What? I'd only missed it by 3? Do you know how many times in our lives we could be so close to achieving a goal? We feel we're miles away, and all we needed to do is push a little bit more. Then I asked them the $1 million question. Why didn't I get in? You know what we all have in common? We're human. You know what that means? We fail. The question is, what do you do about it when you fail? Because if you find out why, answer key. So he said, can I be honest with you? I'm like, yeah. He says, when you do your drawings, you're always like, your eye level is always the same spot. I'm like, well, you know, I'm 6'3", so that's where my eyes are. What do you want from me? He goes, why don't you stand on a ladder and look down at the model? Or why don't you go down and look up? Give us a dynamic perspective. Answer key. I go back to my dorm room. I looked at all the artwork that I had on the walls, all the artwork that I had done throughout my university. I ripped every piece of artwork off the walls. All my artwork, I took it down. Instead, I put up art from Michelangelo, Leonardo. I called up Andy at Disney. I'm like, send me artwork. I wallpapered my walls with artwork that was 100 times better than anything I could ever do. Because we're not human beings. We're human becomings. We want to grow, gotta have a vision. Who am I trying to be? Have a vision. Spend time thinking about that vision. What does my life look like a year from now? What do I want it to be? What part of your life? Every part. His kids are in the room. You know what that means? Balance. What is the balance I want in my life a year from now? 5 years from now? Have the vision. Know what you're working towards. Have that clarity. I was so close. He told me what I had to do. I went and started working in my portfolio. One day I walked into one of my teacher's offices, Mr. Tolstead, great professor. I asked him this question. I go, Mr. Tolstead, can you give me some advice? He said, Saul, let me ask you a question. He says, how many students out there want it? I'm like, thousands. He goes, can you control any of those other ones? I'm like, no. He says, so what's in your control? I said, well, I can control how good I am as an artist, right? He goes, no, you can't. The only thing you can control, he says, is the effort you make. Think Michael Jordan could control that he'd become the GOAT? No, he controlled one thing. He took 800 jump shots every day before breakfast. My teacher told me to take out a piece of paper and write down this line. That's exactly what I did. Nobody worked harder today than me. If you can't say those words and they're true, you don't go to bed. Nobody worked harder today than me. That's the only thing we can control, is what we put in. The question is, how much am I really willing to put in? And you hear it. It sounds like a cliche. People talk about it all the time. You know, all in, work hard, never give up, all that. But now let's put all that aside and be real for a second. How much am I really putting into this? And not just career, all of it. How much am I putting in? So,
Saul killed it. Saul killed it at this event, and you know, he really poured into us. So that's Saul Blinkoff. He is a Disney animator. Many of the Disney movies that you know and love, he was a part of, and so he poured into us. He shared those stories. He also taught us how to draw circles.
And I know a face has two eyes, so I'm going to make an eye, and it has a nose and a mouth and ears.
All of those things, he took us on a journey. And ultimately, in just a matter of a few minutes, he taught us all how to draw Mickey Mouse. And, you know, it sounds silly being able to draw Mickey Mouse, but what Saul did is he took us on this journey and he showed us that we can do hard things, and we can do things that we don't think that we can do, right? That we can, if we would literally just take the time to educate those that come after us, or take the time to learn what's right in front of us, we can accomplish so much. So check this out. I'll give you a little clip of what that was like.
I start out with an oval, and I know a face has two eyes, so I'm going to make an eye, and it has a nose, and a mouth, and ears. Yeah, face. Oh yeah, Picasso, right? Yeah, there's a problem with the face. You see, I forgot something. I forgot what we call construction lines. Watch this. I make an oval, I make very lightly a line like this and this, like a plus, and then I know the eyes go right on the line, the nose is here, the mouth is here, and then I have the features lined up, and then I have a face. You gotta have the construction lines, the structure. That's what's so important. So what you're gonna do, when you feel ready,
he really took the time to break down everything, including where you put eyes on a line to make a face, right? So it's such a simple thing, right? You would think, I would think, right? I say to my kids, hey, draw a face. Well, what's a face? It's got two eyes, it's got a nose and a mouth. They're like, okay. And you see that in a toddler, right? A toddler will put an eye over here, they'll put a nose over here, they'll put a mouth over here. They put all these things in all these different places because they don't understand the structure yet. Just because we have the pieces is not enough. Having the pieces but not having the structure does not make a face or anything else in life. Having the pieces but not the structure does not make a business. Having the pieces but not the structure does not make a relationship. Having the pieces but not the structure is not going to get you to your fitness goals, to your financial goals, to your legacy goals. It's not enough to have the pieces. We got to have the structure. We have to have the process. We have to have the format. And that takes time and energy and education. It takes learning. But man, I got to tell you, when this guy was done, listen to this crowd.
thank you. Let me get a selfie with you guys, okay? Here we go. My wife's like, you better bring those kids.
Phenomenal. Just phenomenal. So if you ever get a chance, Saul Blink off. If you ever get a chance, bring him in for your events. He's an incredible guy. I'm so grateful for what he did for me and for that crew. It was a really impactful experience. Now, speaking of impactful experiences, we also heard stories from my friend Albert. Now, Albert is a guy who spent 5 years in a refugee camp, then came to the United States, and here in the United States, he's now put together his own line of clothing. It's custom suits, very, very, very high end, and he now does suits not just for me and for my team, but he does suits for royalty all over the planet, and he shared his story, and it was really impactful.
Like maybe the size of half the size of University of Kentucky campus, and it's just surrounded by two fences, and there's people in the middle with just like these semi-built houses, and everybody lives in this little like one bedroom, like just like a one room spot, and that room is your kitchen, and that room is your bedroom, and that room is all that, right? So yeah, and hunting is another thing that they did, like wild boar and all that stuff. Yeah, you don't do anything in a refugee camp. You just sit there and you just, I don't know, you just sit there and you hope your name get called next week, and if not next week, next month. If not next month, you just sit there and you don't do anything. Every week you go to line. We used to have this truck, that huge truck that used to come in that says USA on it, and I remember this truck, and it looked like a garbage truck, but it had so much food in it, and you should just come in. And when it came into the camp, there was just just a lot of dust in the back, and I was one of those kids that used to run in the back of the truck like, yeah, the food is here. Like, you know, like, yeah, like, let's go. Like, let's chase the truck all the way there. So I was that guy. I was that kid back then. Yeah, but it just I mean, thank you so much. You just a number. When you call the business, it's like, oh, what's your order number? You become a number over your name, Jake or Harry or whatever. And I want to maintain that at my company. And I'm willing to do with that as long as, you know, I don't care how long it's going to take for me to scale, but I'm willing to actually maintain that over building a huge, big company that turns into what is that? I don't know, Fortune 500 company, right? But he said, how do I stay ahead of the competition? I think most of the competition are mostly focusing on how can we be faster and quicker and, right, whatever. And there's some things that you can have both, right? You can be fast, but you can have quality, right? You can be fast and not have an experience. So there's some things that we're choosing as a company to sacrifice. Like we're choosing not to be fast, but we're choosing to really put our energy down for you and really make it with every single dollar that you give us. We give you back 3 times value back. And there's companies that still do that. That's the reason why people buy Ferraris or Rolex, right? And stuff like that, because there's that craftsmanship of preciseness, you know, that, hey, this guy like deserves our very best, and how can we be 110% every single day?
Yeah, like I can get a suit.
I love that. You know, he shared how, yeah, everybody is just trying to make things faster and scale, right? He's like, everybody just wants to make their product faster. They want to scale faster. They want to get more clients. They want to generate more dollars. And the way he stays ahead of the competition is by not doing that. I thought it was brilliant, especially in front of a bunch of car dealers, because we run fast, man. That's what we want to do. He's like, dude, I stay ahead of the competition by doing the opposite of that. When I order a suit from Albert, it takes usually anywhere from 5 to 8 weeks to get that suit, right? It takes 5 to 8 weeks to get it. And I pay a premium. They're not cheap suits in any way, shape, or form, but the care with which he puts into it, the experience that I get when I buy a product from him, the way that he delivers it, the way that he makes me feel, the way that he puts the suit on and makes sure that my shoulders are square, the way that he tells the story of how I'm going to wear this suit and what people are going to think about me when I'm in the suit and how I'm going to show up in their eyes and in their mind. And he tells me about the silks and the materials and the different places that they came from around the world. And as he paints this beautiful picture, this slow, methodical picture that he paints, I'm like, take my money, bro. Take my money. The other places are cheaper. The other places are faster. But they don't have the same story. And stories matter. And that's what we're sharing this week. And that's what I'm hoping to get you to understand is these stories, man. The stories that you tell, the stories that you've been told, the stories that you tell yourself, the stories that you tell others, and the stories that people tell about you. All of these stories matter. They matter. And so we're going to continue this week. I'm going to bring you more of the speakers from last week's event. I'll bring you more of those. I'm going to show you more of this Hoffman process that we went through with my guy, Danny. That was really impactful. And I'm also going to bring Mark to you, my guy Mark. He was very vulnerable and authentic while he was on the stage.
So to be an elite expectation, what's possible
Evan,
now?
My guy Evan Walters. I'm going to bring, he brought some really powerful stuff to the stage. I'm going to bring that to you. So throughout this week, I'm just going to continue to show you little clips from the Stories Matters the Stories Matter Summit. It's almost a tongue twister. I'm going to show you some more of those clips, but really my hope is it's not just to show you what we're doing over here, but to spark in you, right? I want to spark in you because I love you. I do. If nobody's told you that yet today, let me be the first. I absolutely stinking love you. So I want to spark this thing in you to help you to understand how these stories are so important. Your story is so important. How you and I are children of God, right? The God of the universe. And that God made you and I to be the best versions of ourselves that we can possibly be. Not average versions, not a little bit above average or a little bit below average, but the absolute best versions of ourselves that we can possibly be, right? And in order to become the best version of ourselves that we can possibly be, we have to understand how these stories play into that. The stories we've been told, the stories we tell ourselves, the stories we tell others, and ultimately the stories that others share about us. It all comes together and shapes and molds our ability to unlock our full potential. It's what I want for you. It's what I'm cheering for you. So go on this journey with me. Come back here tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m. We'll do this all over again right here on hashtag Rise and Grind. Now, for those of you that are watching live, I'm going to head over to Clubhouse for a little bit this morning, and then I'm going to go hit this trail out here for a run. But I'm going to go out here to Clubhouse for just a little bit this morning. And so you're welcome to come join me if you have any feedback or any questions. I appreciate you being here with me. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow, 5:30 a.m. We'll do it all over again on hashtag Rise and Grind. Have an amazing day. See ya.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. Hashtag Rise and Grind, hashtag Rise and Grind. First thing on my mind, early in the morning time. Daily motivation, feeling so divine. Waking up the nation, hashtag Rise and Grind, hashtag Rise and Grind, grind, grind. 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 Hashtag Rise and Grind. First thing on my mind, early in the morning time. Daily motivation.
Tears are streaming down my face. Not a little know that his story affected my life. And to tell him in the episode what his story meant to me was such an honor for me, by the way, just to hear that. By the way, I edit all the music in from the movie and the scenes. You got to check it out. But I saw the power of story. Story changes lives. It's not that story gets you your agenda. Story changes lives. You know why? Because it's primal. It's universal. We're all living a story. That's the power of storytelling. I get out of the pool, and rather than just wasting my time floating and going through Splash Mountain every day, I said to one of my buddies, you know what? Let's go make something. We're Disney animators. Let's go make something.
I don't do this. I don't come to like the new goal is, can I get 100 families to eat that are not my family? Can I feed 1,000 families? That's the new goal. Can I feed 1,000 families? Yeah, you became successful. You taught your kids. That's nothing. Anybody who has any heart is going to be successful and teach their family. Can you teach another 100 families how to do what you did? That's the goal. And so you don't need to know who you are. You don't need to, therefore, you don't need that just to do well for yourself. What I'm about to give you influence with, what I'm about to give you power to do is to change the world. And we're going to start with everybody you work with, everybody that works for you, everybody's in your sphere of influence. We're going to empower them first, and we're going to change the world. So, all right, here we go. I think we're ready now. I am 3. 1, 2, 3. I am. 1, 2, 3. I am. 1, 2, 3. I am. All right, now y'all doing a good job. That's great.